Hi there, welcome to part 2 of my coal hopper project. Before I continue with constructing, I just want to mention that part 1 of this project is just called my coal hopper project with a capital M and full stop. So I built the hoppers before I started posting videos, so if you want to see a brief on how the hoppers were made, you will find a brief on my first video, which is called Tips for Model Constructing, also with a capital T and full stop. I also want to mention that on part 1 of this video, at the end, that I said happy collecting when I was supposed to say happy constructing, which I did leave in the description of part 1. Sorry for looking down on that, I was actually reading that off a piece of paper so I didn't muck it up. Anyway, moving back to the constructing. Right, so on part 1 we got up to actually building this. Now I did spend a lot of time showing you how the paper rolls were made, but I think I gave enough information on that. So before I actually started this video, I pre-made the last of these. Now obviously this is not the only two, there's 4. When I can find the other 2. There we go. So there we go. So we have those now. So what I'm going to do is, because obviously I've been constructing those, so I've had stuff out already. I'm going to bring this back and we are going to attach the rest of these to this, which is not going to be hard at all, as long as you got your glue spreader and your glue. So all we want to do is repeat this process, but on the ends this time. Probably best to do this sort of one at a time, because these ain't going to attach to anything else. These are just going to now stand. Oh yeah, I don't need to. So forget the glue spreader. You don't really need that. So all you're doing is putting the glue on and then gluing this to this. Now because it's got a rest bar, we are going to just let that dry to there like that. So I'm going to pause the video while that dries. As a matter of fact, it's not dry yet. I only paused for a couple of seconds. You can tell I can actually still move that off. It's still got glue on it. I'm going to do it this way to speed things up. So if I turn this that way, make sure that that's going to be able to stick to that, which yes it will. Obviously I'm going to have to move it actually. We are going to do the other side as well, just to speed things up. So I'm going to stick that back to there, because I've got the glue on this side. Now we need the spreader because that's starting to actually hit the table. Just move that glue out of the way. So probably best to have a glue spreader handy. And now I'm going to pause the video and let that dry. I am actually going to have a cigarette, so I have actually moved the table to the side. It should take roughly about, in the time of having a cigarette, I should be able to move that without it falling apart. When I say cigarette, I mean roll up, because that's what I smoke is roll ups. So in the process of rolling the roll up and smoking it, I should be able to come back and move that about and glue the other side. We'll see. Hold on, I've resumed for a couple of minutes. I haven't actually gone for my cigarette yet. Just to point out, yeah, you can see this on screen. So this is my drinking glass. I am going to turn this to facing the camera. Obviously that's going to happen. Still going to move out of play. But for it to dry firmly to the construction, I'm going to use my drinking glass to hold that there, and the glue to hold the other side so it actually glues firmly straight to the construction. Obviously when it's dried properly, I'll be able to pull these into a position where they will become perfectly in line with the rest of it. So don't ever worry about the paper rolls being out of line. but you do want them flush with the top part. Unfortunately, I did make a little bit of a downfall, but I think that's actually going to help where this one slots down slightly, because obviously it's going to have a bit there where it can reach to the other side when I put the conveyor on. So back in a bit, I am actually now going to have a cigarette. I unpause the video again. I'm going to kick my own head in until I've actually had my cigarette. That's when I'll be unpausing the video, so I'll see you in a bit. Right, I've had my cigarette. I have just checked this. It is actually dry enough for me to do this. Move them out of the way, and now I can actually pick that up. What we're going to do is the same again. Pour some glue there. And some glue there. Unfortunately, the reason why I'm not actually doing any more constructing than this at the moment is because there's not really much else to do. And I'm getting glue everywhere. They ain't dry on there properly, but they will be when I'm finished. But the middle pole on this will actually help hold these in place for this to dry decently. Could do with lifting that up slightly. Oh, that's great. I can't hold these ones. The bottle won't let me. So I'm going to have to close the lid and put it on its side, which still doesn't help. Oh, now that's got it. Yes, I know this one's come apart a bit, but it's back in place. And then we're just going to pause the video again and let that dry. Or shall I show you what's going to be going on? Because obviously that will now be ready once it's dry to attach to this. So then we were moving on to the fun part, building the conveyor belt. What do you think of that? It's going to be awesome. Anyway, I'm going to actually pause the video and I'm going to do something just to pass the time. As a matter of fact, I might go and get myself a shower. So I'll see you when I've had my shower. So yeah, after I've had my shower, that should be perfectly dry and we can attach it up. And just so you know, what I'll actually be motorising the conveyor belt with is one of these motors. Now you can get these out of PlayStation pads, or you can just buy them like that, I'm sure you can, from an electric shop. Anyway, I'll see you in about half an hour. Right, I'm back from my shower. It's been about half an hour. We're going to carry on constructing with no interrupting. We're going to put this on the base and hopefully it doesn't look a disgrace. Oh, here we go. Now we've brought out a little bit of flow. So I just made that up off the top of my head. That's why there was a bit of stuttering in there. Normally I have to write my words down to actually keep it going. Well, I have told a fair few people in the past on that I can actually spit bars and that. That was just a quick little brief of that I can actually do that. Thought it'd be fun for my video. Hold on, because I've got a bit of glue on my hand. There we go. Right, so it has actually been about half an hour. I'll just remember something else. Alright, because the bars actually came into my head while I was actually having my shower. No, while I was having a cigarette, sorry. Anyway, yeah, I know that looks a bit out of line and that, but when it goes in, it will not look out of line. Oh crikey, it's this one. That's why it looks out of line. Luckily enough, we should be able to move that up a little. That's all that needs happening with that. Shit, it's peeling it off. Right, there we go. It's got to be in line with the other one. That's why it didn't look right. But because of the glue being semi-dry, luckily enough, right, I'm gonna have to put a bit. God damn it, I'm ruining it now. Oh, that has stuck there. No, it hasn't. Oh, I'll crack on and use that little bit of glue that's on the table there. So we're just mending this up a little. Unfortunately, when I put this together, I didn't actually realise what actually happened is I forgot that's supposed to actually be in line with those ones. So there's that one, that's why it doesn't look right. I think, no, that one's actually correct. Yeah, because I've got this one tilting down a bit. Yes, that will keep doing that. I'm going to have to put a bit more glue on there, because I've actually tore away the paper. It should be fine. Because you won't actually be able to see that in the way. So what happens when you rush things slightly, you end up getting things out of proportion. Well, when we glue this in onto here, it will come out perfect. But what we can do, when we've waited for this to dry, I'm going to pause the video again and just sit here and watch it dry. Probably have myself a glass of pop. That's why this glass is here. I've been drinking Dr. Pepper. So, yeah. So, back in a few. Check that out. I just filled that glass. To you guys, it'll just look like that. I filled that glass without even pouring it. So if you notice now, the glass may have moved to the side and that, and it's gone down a little bit. Sorry, I'm just prattling about. Should be saving video time, not wasting it. But that's it now, I'm not wasting it. Check that out, the glass didn't even move this time. But I am pausing it now and leaving it paused until I've actually thought that that thing is dry. Alright, actually, welcome back for a minute. Because now I'm going to show you how well a sewing kit can actually come in use. Because we are going to use some sewing kit on this. And I think, how the hell am I going to use sewing kit on that? You'll see when I'm ready. I'm going to try and move that. Yeah, not overly stable, but it's stable enough for me to actually get measurements. Oh, no, this actually wrecking up on me. But it will sit in place when I'm ready to have it set in place. For Christ's sake, that's not even the one that I've glued on. That's a separate one. That's the one that I've glued on. And that one's still trying to fall apart. This is where things get messy. Yeah, it's completely peeled that up now. I knew it would. And this is how awkward constructing can actually be. Because of the paint, that is. So I said that getting glue on the paint will actually make it become corrosion. It's the paint that's actually peeling, not the glue. You'll see in a minute what I'm on about. See? Because that's supposed to be glue. It's black. And I've actually just took some of the paint off. So I'm going to try and let this dry a bit more thorough than what it has done. That's not the one from this side, that's the one from this side. That's how awkward things can be when you're constructing But don't worry about it. When you glue back on, you don't actually see the messed up part. So I will be pausing the video to let that dry. Oh, on second thought, I've just remembered something. I haven't even got nothing that's been holding that in place. So instead of using my drink to do so, I'm going to move this over towards there. And as I said about the sewing kit actually coming in use, I'm going to brace it against the sewing kit. So you can see on the lid as well how easy, because it's water based glue, how easy it can come off. It's actually got onto the lid of my glue. So just bear in mind that using water based paints isn't always the best idea. But it does work if you want it to. Right, see you in a bit. Right, welcome back, because we are actually going to try and get the measurements on this, which is going to help brace that to this. As you can see, this is a bit floppy at the moment, but that doesn't matter. Once that goes on, that will hold perfectly stable. So we are now going to attempt to move this. It is flapping about a little bit. Don't worry about that, because now we are going to let this dry in a different format. We are going to actually stand it up like that. It should work, because that other bit there, that should be held on strong. Just make sure that it's in line. Not quite. That's what it's supposed to be, up a bit. Right, so yeah. Do not worry anything at all about that lopsiding. You want it to do that, because then you know that it's completely held up. That bit's not holding very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to brace something on there to hold it steady. That works.
Yes, my nigga.
Oh, well done, Phil. Right on my video.
Oh shit. I'm sorry.
And I can't start that video again. Sorry about that, folks. That was my little brother just being an idiot. I'm going to have to pause you a minute. Anyway, folks, we are now gluing this one on. And then hopefully we can get the measurements. I should have got the measurements first. But, oh, I might still be able to do it. If I turn that up that way.
Can I go to a police station and go work on my pics?
Phil, I'm recording, you idiot. Sure you're trying to ruin this video for me?
No.
Because you do realise you can actually make money off this.
1 million ton of bitch, you bitch.
So he continues to swear.
My leg hurts.
My life hurts, so doing it.
That's some quick, you got my life hurts.
That's not nice.
I'm trying to get bullied. We're going to bully you.
In a good way or a bad way?
Right, we're going to pause the video again. I'm going to have a cigarette. And
You bully me. You bully me. How about giving me good food?
put that like that. So hopefully after I've had a cigarette. Actually no, because I can still get the measurements off that. Right, we are going to actually get the measurements and get them down on this. So, once again, we are going to need... Oh, I can do it with this. One of these, a ruler.
I fucking wear a shirt. I wear a shirt now, but
Well, I'm trying to do a video, do you mind?
I'm speaking to Sarah. You mind?
I'm sure that you can sit downstairs in the kitchen and speak to her.
Oh, that's sweet.
You want to go to sleep, but you want to talk to Sarah? That does not make any sense at all.
I want to talk to Sarah myself.
then turn in video, continuously calling the video and filming. And I mean, so both are in India because he can't make the video with me and talking.
Right, I can see roughly on there that from there to there, the pinholes of that is technically 6.5 millimeters. Shall we have a look if 6.5 millimeters will look correct on there? Yes, it does. So you say you get your measurements, so you know that that's 6.5 from there to there. So what you want to do is now, let me try and move this to the other side. Sorry about this, folks, but I've got an interrupting person up there.
You got two, me and Sarah.
And all I'm doing is ruining everything. Am I even recording? Yes, I am recording. So we know that that's going to be 6.5 millimeters across there. So we want a pencil. There, my pencil's gone again. There it is.
Think so.
So we want to get that 6.5 line roughly to the middle of this, where it looks in the middle.
So what the fuck was
Which that does look about right. Let's just do this in a better way and measure the whole lot. So I know that that's 6.5.
Why?
And this one goes to
You have
13.
5 coffees.
So 6.5, 13. So 13 is there. 6.5 is. That looks about right. It's not smack on with the middle line of that, because that's two different measurements on there. That does look about right. But when we put it together, it looked perfect. So there's the 6.5 point. 0 point there.
It looks like you were talking off school.
And 13 there. Now to make this more better, hold on, because I can't see them dots properly, so see that one properly but not the others. I want to redo them.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Oh, that was the right dot that I was looking at. Make it a bit
I'll
bigger.
give you a hug first.
No, I'm going to make that one a bit bigger.
Yeah. I'll hug you in my bed.
And then we're going to do the same again. Try and get that 6.5 point looking in the middle as possible.
Can I just pick a toe?
And we'll see how these lines look when we draw them in, and see how it looks to the rail. If it doesn't look right, we rub them out and start again. So 13. Oh, that's an. Oh no, there's the dot for that one. Yeah. I'm gonna make that a bit darker, so I know exactly which dot that is. So we're gonna go there.
So, why do you have to hold?
And it's gonna go there.
I'll tell my mom.
And it's gonna go there. And we're gonna draw these lines and try and make them look straight as possible.
No.
And then we technically have the measurements for those, but we need to measure from the centre of them poles. So, using my ruler, I'm going to draw this line straight, so it looks straight to the rail.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you what.
And one of them lines is a bit out, and one of them dots, but that doesn't matter. So all you do is go to the more or less the middle of them.
No.
Same on this one. Now I'm going to have to edge the ruler on this one.
Hmm?
It helps to have the tracks in because you can follow the rails in a straight line.
Can I make you stress in the morning? Can I make you stress in the morning? Can I make you suffer? I'll tell you tomorrow.
And same again with this one.
I'll tell you Wednesday.
Now that line does not look straight to me. So I'm rubbing that out and I'm starting again.
No. No. Hey. Hey. Hey.
I've still got the dot
What's that one
there.
thing that you told
What I should do is turn this around so I can measure up to the rails. Once again.
When?
That looks straight. This bit only has to look straight, it doesn't necessarily have to be straight. But what does need to be straight is the legs to this. So I'm going to stretch out onto that line. They've lined up with that line.
Can you give me one first?
That's lined up with that.
Please.
So I'm happy with that.
I need someone on my happy I'll do it today.
So I'm happy with the way that that's dried. No, I'm not because that one's just come out of place. No, that looks like just that. Push it back.
What do you mean?
I'm going to hold that to there again even more. This way you should never really rush on work because I'm rushing this a little bit because I just want to get this done and finished and move on to actually faffing about with one of these. Now, I don't just have one of these, I actually have 3 with different wirings. Because if you look on there, the wires are actually kind of shortish. On these ones, the wires are quite longish, so it's probably one of them ones that I'll be using, so I'm putting that to one side. I'm going to put those there. Right, anyway, how are we going to get the measurements on this? Oh, I forgot there's actually a straight line going across on that bit. So I could have actually used that to draw a perfect straight line. As a matter of fact, those lines do actually look straight. Oh no, it might be slightly off. Now the way I've drawn it looks the straightest. So, with messing this up again possibly, from the 2 holes inside there, 5.2. Important to get those holes. Oh, 5.2.
Of course, there is one thing to get on top of that.
And we are going to have it there. So you want to draw dots on that line
So you made it
at 5.2. Now to get this straight, we are going to need the bigger ruler because obviously I can't remove those. So it's going to be a rough estimate
Babe, babe,
on catching that
babe,
on the straight line, but you've got to try and get
come on.
that line perfectly straight using the shadow underneath. Line up the shadow rather than
Babe, come on.
the actual number. You want to get that shadow as well lined up on there, so it's, oh no, don't try and use the light, just try and get that on line perfectly straight over there to where the dot is, and draw against the ruler to the edge there. You should end up with crosses when you do this. Try and keep your pencil up straight as possible. Doesn't matter if you turn it to the side like that, like you did on the first one. Just make sure that you end up with across there, and across there. And then you do the same to the other side. Now it will be easier to do because this time we can actually use that first line that we just drew to straighten out ruler. Hold on a minute, something's popped up on my laptop. Just get rid of that. There we go. Yeah, right. So same again. Get that lined up. Make sure that it looks straight with the other one. Using the pencil at a straight angle. Draw right the way across. Now that didn't actually go over that dot properly, but that's fine. Because I know roughly where that needs to be. So there we have it. Can't really see it that well. There we go, if I turn it towards the light. You can see that I've got a pencil line going down that way. Pencil line going down that way. Pencil line going down that way. And then two going across this way. Which you can see there. Obviously them lines actually now have crosses on them. Now, how to cut the circles out on these. It's an awesome tip, this one. Awesome tip. You get this, and you measure out the exact length. Let me get the north. There we go. Let me turn the ruler around that way. Right, according to this, across from there to there is 7 millimeters. So half of 7 is 3.5. I think. I'm gonna have to check that. There is a way of checking that. It's the easiest way because my guess is 3.5, so I'm gonna do 3.5 there plus 3.5. If you're good at doing these additions, it's quite easy. So 5 and 5 is 10. Put the decimal, carry the 1, 3 of 3. 7.0, which is 7. You don't need the note on there. Oh yes, 3.5. So what we want to do now is move this to one side. I'm going to have to move this to one side, so I'll be pausing the video. I'm going to show you how to make a perfect circle. Right then, so this is where sewing kit's actually going to come into use. Because we want 2 circles on there. Exactly the same size as those that fit the posts on the hoppers. So where's my sewing kit? Here it is. What we're actually going to start with is a specialised needle that has a bobble on the end. We are going to need that to do the perfect circle. You're also going to need a pair of scissors, which I've got here, and this bit of cardboard. What we're going to do is, doesn't need to be measurements or anything like that, just cut a strip off the cardboard. And then cut this now to the size that's actually going to fit against the rail like that. So we need roughly that much. That should work perfectly. Yes, I'm happy with that. Right, on this, we are going to, once again, get a ruler, get the pencil, and we are going to mark out, what was the measurements? 3.5 millimeters, that is. Oh no, it wouldn't be 3 point. Oh, how would I do that in millimeters?
Did you say I gave you both of them 3 fingers?
That was 7 millimeters.
Both of them 2 fingers. More.
So 7 millimeters is there. So roughly between the 3 and the 4 millimeter is where you want your first dot. Try and get it in the centre of the cardboard. I should have drawn it on the cardboard before I actually cut it, because now we can actually cut it down to an even more reasonable size. So between 3 and 4 millimeter, we want a dot. Do it quite biggish, and then we want a dot on the 0. Now before you actually cut this down to a bit more of a better size, sorry, I'm going to sharpen up my pencil a little bit, so I'm going to pause so I'll find other stuff. Right, there we go, sorry about that. I haven't done nothing yet because I haven't even sharpened up my pencil. Going to sharpen up the pencil a little bit more, so we're going to need a nice sharp pencil. And we are going to now use this pin, and we are going to stab one of those dots to start with. Right, if you're scared about stabbing yourself into your finger, put a piece of cardboard underneath and just press on so it goes right the way through. Yeah, that's perfect. Now then, you're going to use your sharp pencil. You're going to widen that dot a little bit. That's perfect. Now we are going to, once again, stab the needle through the other dot. And this time, instead of taking the needle out, we're going to push the needle down a bit. We are going to get the scissors once again. So you can see what I've done there. We have that much space of a dot. We are going to cut that down to a bit of a smaller size, so it's a bit more easier to manoeuvre, because you're obviously going to manoeuvre this, because we are about to draw circles. So trying to do this with a compass is not easy. Try making your own compass out of cardboard, where you can actually get precise measurements of how big you want your circle. So now what we're going to do is we are going to get this where them lines actually cross. We are going to put the pin right the way through that cross. Remove this bit of cardboard up. I can actually see that I'm putting it right on the cross. Push it right the way down. Push your cardboard right the way down. Press on it so it's flush with the cardboard. Get your pencil. Put it in the other dot. It's got caught on the pencil doesn't seem to be drawing, not sure why. Well, it is, and I just can't see the circle. Oh no, there we go. Check that out. Can I get it in the light? You see that little circle with the dot in the middle? The outline of that circle is pencil. The centre of it is where the needle was stabbed in. Now you do the same for the rest. You look for that cross on the lines, and when you've done this, you erase all the lines. Don't just erase them straight away. Watch what I do before you actually decide to prat about. Oops. The needles fell out of place. Doesn't matter because I've almost drawn the circle. I can always just find that hole, put the needle back in. There we have another circle. Same on this one.
If I want to.
And to make sure it goes right the way down. That way the needle doesn't move about as much.
Yeah.
That's it. Happy with that? Right, this box, I will mention, inside this box is actually a craft knife. You will need one of those as well. Make sure it's a craft knife, so you've got a special blade for this, because this is actually really tough work to do if you don't have the right material. Right, this is why it's best to use double corrugated cardboard when you're doing this sort of work. So I just messed up that hole a little. Can't actually see the line.
Bill, I need one song.
There we go. That needle went to the side a little bit.
let's try and get up. Get up.
We can do that.
What is someone with the phone? What is someone with the phone?
I have no idea. I was in the kitchen.
Right, that's not exactly
I just came up here
accurate.
because I heard Mum saying, "Don't fight him" or something like that. How have you been?
Oh yeah.
Sorry about this, folks, but I've got two brothers actually talking while I'm recording.
Oh, boo-hoo.
That's probably the best I'm going to get that because the needle didn't go on across properly. Well, doesn't matter, I'll keep putting my finger in the way of the lines, that's why I can't see it properly. It'll still look good. That one's gone on perfect. So, how simple is it to actually draw a perfect circle?
Yeah, I'll pause it for a sec.
Hold on a minute. So, last one. The reason why I've done all this on the video is because it doesn't take long at all to do. My little brother wants to talk to me, so he wants me to pause the video a minute. So, give me a minute after this. When I've done this, I'm going to pause the video for a second and then I'll come right back to it. Once I've drawn around this one, I'm going to leave it stuck in the cardboard. And I'll re-show you the mechanism for drawing perfect circles. And then we'll see on how to cut them out. So, I'll see you in a minute. Right, so now we are going to use the craft knife. That seems like the best blade that's in there. A nice pointed blade. You just want to gently cut these around these circles. Don't go in too deep, just cut the top layer first. Doesn't matter if it's rough up or not. Just as long as it's a perfect circle, more or less. Just try and stay on the line as much as possible. So when you put the stands in, it'll press on the cardboard, widen it out, and that's how it holds itself to a perfect position. Now, sorry folks, forgot that my hand keeps on cramping up when I'm doing stuff like this. I should really use my left hand but I do struggle to see when I'm using my left hand. I'm struggling to see now because my hand is actually in the way of the light. I'm going to try with my left hand now because I've already started cutting. So I won't be able to go from there because now I'd be cutting this side that way around. Once you start cutting with one hand, it's actually hard to switch around when you're using tools like this. But I've almost cut it off anyway. And you're going to see how simple it is to actually get those to stand up on there. When I've cut this one, I will be pausing the video and I'll cut the rest of them out to show you this one. So now look at that. There is actually a hole in the cardboard. And then obviously that's not going to be a very good hole. So what you want to do is cut to the other layer underneath as well. Try and get it as perfect as possible. And then I'll show you how to make it a little bit more wider, ready to hold the other bit. Ready to hold the stand rather. So cut round in circles. Sorry folks, one sec. Sorry about that folks, I just had to say a little something to my little brother. Well, we've almost got this out down to the layer. So if you couldn't hear me, my little brother's climbing down on the bunk bed. So my mum just called him, that's why I paused the video, just to let him know that. I'm not sure why I paused the video now, because I've just told you why I paused the video. Oh, that hasn't gone as well as I hoped. I'm not sure how thick them poles are. Excuse me a sec, I'm pausing the video again just to get a measurement. Right, the stands that are plugging into this are actually thicker than this pencil, so this hole should be just right because it's more or less to the measurement. But when you've cut some of it out, just press down. And there you have it. You can actually see there's a hole inside there. Now when you come to putting the thing on, all you do is fill that with glue and stab it in. Right, I'm going to pause the video again and I'm going to cut the rest of these out. Sorry again folks, I know I'm back, I haven't actually finished, but I have actually started cutting the next hole. When you actually come to prodding this, I just want to make sure that it's understood that if the poles are smaller than this, you'd have to find something that's smaller than the poles. The poles are actually, that are going to plug into these, bigger than this. But when they go in, they will widen it open some more. Especially when the glue's in there and it will hold perfectly. Right, I'm going to pause the video and continue. Cutting the circles out, that is. And I'll show you when it gets to it. Of putting.
It sounds like the whole of your mom. It's all the same mom, you know. Wait, then you have when you say that to me, I have to say that to you. You're so right.
What the hell was that laugh? Or squeak? Sounds like someone's had the rappy pills.
Sarah. Sarah, do you think that's a good reminder of my brother? I've witnessed several wars. I'm a witness several wars. Sarah.
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 Piss day.
Sarah.
Piss day.
Shut up, Phil. Sarah.
That's way. Sarah.
Sarah.
You said yeah.
Well, I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, bloody hell. I forgot what I was going to say. I'll come back to you on that. I'll try and remember what I was going to say. Oh my gosh, I'm still recording. How am I still recording? Sorry about that, folks. I thought I'd pause the video. Right, there we are, folks. All the 6 holes are actually cut out on that. So, I'm pausing the video again and I'm going to get the rest of it. Right, here we are, folks. We are going to now attach this to this. If you look, that will line up. Those holes are slightly too small for this, but you can push it down into place. But before we actually do that, we are going to start with the one end and get that lined up first. Right, where's the glue? 1 second, folks, I'm pausing the video again so I can find the glue. Right, folks, I found my glue. So what we're going to do is, we're going to start at this end. As a matter of fact, now we're not starting at any end, we are going to put glue in each one of these potholes. Do not get glue on the tracks, because you'll be there spending hours trying to clean them. There we go, we have glue in the potholes. I probably should have moved the tracks before I did that, but luckily enough, I'm smart enough not to get glue everywhere. The only place that I've actually got glue, which will just do that, is there. And inside the potholes. And now what we're going to do is press these in. Seems like, why are you trying to ruin my video? Stop it. I've actually got it recording. As it says, when you do this, they will fit in properly. You press that down. Make sure it's in good and proper. And there we have it. They are now standing up. Now, as I said, that this is my tallest locomotive. We are going to check and see if the Stephenson sprocket will still go underneath that. Yes. And on the other one? Yes. So that is perfect. I've got to service these locomotives anyway, so it doesn't matter about dragging it across the track like I just did. After a service, it'll run perfectly again. Hold on a minute, there's something underneath that. It's a craft knife. So obviously I want this to dry completely flat. But does that not look awesome? Now obviously, as you see on some of these, right now I'm going to push that a little bit towards there, because that looks a bit unlevel.
Mama.
Oh no, it's these.
Get me
I forgot that one
get me
tilts slightly.
fried chicken.
We are going to put like an
KFC, Joe
X
Factory,
part across
Joe.
there. This is where Sammy comes in. So, then pulls the white.
Right.
So, let's use some nice
KFC,
white
Joe
cotton.
Factory, Joe.
I'm going to use one that's open. There we go. Nice white cotton. This one is actually open. So what we're going to do is, now we want that to the outside, so it looks awesome. No measurements on this. I'm going to put that there. And we are going to put, not straight onto that, we are going to put a blotch of glue on our glue spreader. And we are going to just touch around there, roughly where we want.
Yeah, Antonio,
That's
I'm gonna
it.
die soon.
Don't not while I'm recording, don't be stupid while I'm recording. People will probably take offence to the video. I've already got to bloody edit it because of that. So we have that now locked onto there, so it'll hold in place. All we're going to do is just keep putting that round. Yes, it will look a bit of a mess at first, but now we've done that, we are going to dry up some of the glue. And just kneading it to the post. Just so that you can see what I'm actually doing when I bring that round. Now we're going to actually cut the cotton, because that looks quite right there. And I'll say roughly about there. 1 second, I need to find my other scissors. I have them. They're these little ones. Can you see that? So we are going to hold that up to there. And we are going to snip there. There's still a bit of glue on the glue spreader. And we are going to just dab the glue onto there. Maybe use a little bit more. There's some stuck on the end of this. Now we're going to actually put a bit more on this. This does tend to waste glue, but it's good for the effect. So that's how we want it. And it's very easy to measure this up. Obviously there's still a bit of cotton sticking out on there. But you go up like that, bring it up to as close as you want it. That looks about right for me. And make sure that somewhere you go under the string, just so you can poke it up, and then fold the string to there again. Once that's dry, because the glue dries see-through, it will look awesome. Now, how to get the other side in a perfect straight line. Now once again, I'm going to put glue on the glue stick. Yeah, the video is recording, Don't need a lot of glue, just enough to go around there. That's roughly the right height. It doesn't matter because the glue's not actually evened out. You don't want the glue evened out. If it's evened out, you won't get the ideal shape that you're looking for. Right, so how does this go now? We are working on that side, so I want that to cross up that way. Ah, that's it. So from there, make sure that that looks straight. I'm happy with that. You just do the same again. Wrap it round over the glue. Make sure that you go over and under the string so it holds in place. That's why it's good to have a bit of extra glue left over, because you can flatten the string down with it. So I'm happy with that. Now we want to get this pattern up on there. It's just the same again. That's roughly correct. So you cut your string. Now you're going to think, I'm going to do that to the middle one. Make it look even. There's a way of actually doing that. When it comes to the middle one, you do both ends. Both sides, of the middle one. Just to give it a good graphic look. By rights I should have my baseboard underneath this, but I've forgotten to put it there. So I'm going to have to get it in a minute. So bring that bit up. Get that to level where you want it. Probably best to go under the string first so you can actually level it out perfect. It is a bit fiddly, but never mind about that. There we go, that looks about right. And all you do is just keep wrapping it round again. And this is how easy it is to actually work with cotton. Like I said, not all the time you have to tie cotton. Sometimes you can glue it, depending on what structure you are doing. I will bring this close to the camera in a minute so you can see what I've actually done. Can you see the X shape in the middle? Looks awesome. Right, now the middle one, that's where it gets tricky. So I'm going to have to turn this way, because you're going to have to pay a real attention to this one. Obviously when it comes to doing the last one, I will be pausing the camera. Obviously it'll be the same on that side, except for you're doing it the opposite, so it stays on this side. Now this side, it doesn't matter how I start as long as I get the string on this side of the structure to start with. So, oh, I haven't even put glue on it. Oh, I was meant to put my baseboard underneath. Never mind. Don't really need the baseboard at the moment, so I'm not flicking glue everywhere. I'm just putting some on the post just to get the string to stick. Not string, cotton. Because it's not string, it is cotton. Right, so let's say roughly about there. 1 over, 1 under. That's how it works. Make sure that it still seems straight and even. No, it doesn't. I need to move that up slightly. That looks about right. I'm not sure if I went under or over, so I'm going to go under. I think I did go under in the first place, and then obviously over. There, I just picked a bit of glue off the post, a little bit over the string. Right, you get measurement, but do not do the other side yet. Just get the measurement for the other side. I want to say about there. Now, because that one's going to that side, we want the other one to go on the opposite side. So I'm going to have to figure that out. How I'm going to get it to go. That's it, yeah. So this time, string will go on that side. Move this string that we've cut out the way. Good place to actually put it so it's not in the way. Up on top of that. So we are now going to wrap this round on here. Obviously in the same place as that other string. You don't need to glue it because there's already glue on there, but you will need to put some glue over the top. So folks, I'm going to have to pause the video in a minute because my bladder's giving up. So give me 2 minutes. Right then, sorry about that. I've had to start again because I did put this on my baseboard, as you can see, and I dropped the string, so it's unravelled itself. So what we are going to have to do now, because that's probably semi-dry, is actually add a little bit more glue. Now, not too much, just a smaller amount, because you don't want the other string getting flattened with it. So, how is this going to go on? Which side is this one to? Now that's to this side. So we want this one on that side. So what we're going to do is, we're going to put that over that side and wrap this now round this way. I'm going to go under the string first, just to hold it steady. You do always want a bit of the string to go over the top of that one. So under, which would be that, through that bit there, and then over, which would be over that bit. And then obviously, once again, use the glue and just press the string down. Right. Now then, we cut that to length on this side. So we want to bring that through there. Where's my little scissors gone? Sorry folks, I'm going to have to pause the video just to save time. I've lost my scissors again. I found them. And it was under my baseboard. So, obviously, cut it to a decent length. Hold that up. Right. We're moving to this side. So, ignore that string what's folded on around there. We'll concentrate on the one that's flopping about. So obviously if you start moving the other one, you're only just going to end up getting tangled up with string. Cotton, rather. That's what that is that I'm using, is cotton. So once again, put some glue. I'm going to say roughly about there. Hold on a minute, let's have a look. So it is actually good to use string as well for measurements. So yeah, I have got it roughly in the right place. And I need a bit more glue than that. There we go. I want to try and get that over the string, like so. So we've got one that goes under and one that goes over. And now it's just flattening that to the post. Not letting me flatten it. That's one of my cocktail sticks. I do have my cocktail sticks out because you never know when these might end up coming in use. Always best to have your equipment handy in case you're not sure what you'll end up needing it for. So there's the one side. Now the one that's inside here, we bring out, let it fold underneath there. And then obviously, once again before that glue actually dries, we're going to wrap this round there. So you go over the one line and under the other. So you want to end up going through the two pieces of cotton. So I'm doing this. Should have used a cocktail stick. And a cocktail stick. That's done it. Oh, it's come back through. I'm going to try to grab it. Okay, this string just don't want to do what I'm asking it to. It is very fiddly when you come to these parts. The reason why it's best to do it while it's stuck down is because if you tried to do this before you stuck it down, you'd end up not being able to stick the thing into the cardboard. No, that hasn't gone underneath. It does take a few goes to actually get it to go right. And this just doesn't want to. Hey, there we go, got it. I know you couldn't see that, but eventually you'll figure it out, how to do it. How to get it to where you want it to go. That's it, and you just wrap it in line with the other. Something's gone wrong because that one's seeming to be out of place. Well, it's just my eye. No, it's just my eyes. My bad. So this time we want to go over the string and not underneath it. Do not ever try and tie it around the post because you'd end up with a bit of string sticking off, and when you try and cut it, it looks a mess and the knot ends up coming undone. So never ever tie knots when you're doing construction like this. When it's going around a pole, glue the cotton in place. Let's try it from this angle because it's not letting me go over the cotton. Hey, there we go. Now it's come back on itself. The cotton is actually sticking to my fingers because they're covered in glue. This is how difficult it can be to work with cotton. But once you get it, it looks the part. Yeah, that'll do. I've got it through. So there we go. And then all you do is just keep wrapping it round. Doesn't matter whether this one goes over or under the string. If you've already got one that goes under, that's all you need is just one that goes under. But there we have it. It is now on there. There's still some glue on this. I'm going to use that just to flatten it down. I forgot there's actually 2 strings on there, so it's been a bit of a bugger to flatten it down. I've got it. So that's the one side of that. Bring that on the camera. You can't see that. Oh, there we go. As you can see, there are 2 pieces of cotton. One on this side of the pole and one on the other side. That's how you get that effect in the middle. Now obviously, you've got to do the same on this post. So you get your measurement from this post, yeah. So now we know roughly where that goes. Get some glue on there. Level out a straight line from that one to that one. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight, it's just got to look the part. Well, I've got it the straightest I can get it. So one under and one over. There we go. Spread the glue so it holds that in place. Same scenario again. You go through that. Cut it to size. Obviously you need to leave some string so you can wrap it around the post.
I'm gonna quickly show some what done to it shoes from my shoes now.
Obviously we'll fold that over there again. So we know now where this one needs to be going. So through that one's right there. Let me see which side I've actually wrapped this to. That's on this side, so this one needs to be that side. Oh, can go further back on that, got too much string. I'll wrap it underneath. Get enough string so you can wrap it round and get it to hold in place. One over the top and then just let it wrap round. Right, so now we have both strings on there. Come to this side. Oh, I'm going to cut it to length, just so that you can see how I actually cut it to length. Obviously, do not cut it close to the pole. Cut it away, just so that you got that room to glue it on. So what I mean about cotton actually sticking to you, mate, because I've got glue all over my hands. But it's just that same scenario where you put a block of glue on the glue spreader and just put it roughly where you want it. So there we go, that's the one side done. I'm going to have to bring that this way because how it's wrapped around the pole. It's actually hard to see. There we go, I've got it. Yes, I did wrap it around the right way. You know what, I'm going to try and just go underneath on this one this time, underneath both of the strings. It may still work and it may be easier for people to do that. I would recommend watching the whole of this video before you actually make an attempt. It's very easy to get something out of place. And there we have it. Now, oh, I'm touching the rails with gluey hands. It's hard to actually see. But what we're looking at is the lines there. And that looks awesome. It's gone slightly out of place on the one string. That's easy to do. What you do, move it back into place. Using your glue spreader that's got a little bit of glue still on it. Just take glue off there and just put it onto the string until it's in line with the other. Make sure that any loose ends are stuck down. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, so I'm going to pause the video to do the last one. Obviously, doing the last one is just exactly the same as doing that side. You want to do one side of the these poles. The reason why you do double on that one is because it's smack on in the centre. So, see you in a moment. And just a quick heads up, I'm going to explain this while I'm actually doing this. Don't worry so much about getting glue on the track. If that does tend to happen, the best way to get the glue off the track, now this is going to sound quite silly, but it does work, it's actually how I clean my tracks. Use sandpaper. That was the only reason why I paused the video, just to mention that. Use sandpaper to clean the tracks. Oh, I've just realised I put that. Alright folks, I have finished the last bit of that. So now, that's how that looks. It's not very good at being shown on the camera. Can't see the white lines that well, I don't think. Oh, you can there. But that's the one side. That's the other side. Let's see if I can show it at an angle. Oh yes, we can see that quite nicely. And that's the hoppers that are going to load coal into coal trucks. So that'll be a bit out of shape. But what we are going to do is have a look at that now. Not overly straight. I might just do it. Yeah, that seems to be straight enough. It's not overly straight. And that's all you do is push these to the side like that, just to straighten them out. One of those strings will come loose. I'm going to tighten it up. There we go. So yeah, that looks perfect. That is literally right above the coal truck. Now, because that is in there, we are going to do something quite weird. 2 minutes while I can get some sandpaper. Oh, also, while I'm going to get some sandpaper, I'm also going to draw out a diagram, and you'll see what for when I come back. Oh, I just remembered something as well. There's going to be a little bit more to what I'm going to be doing. So, prepare to be amazed once again. I'm not ready to do it just yet because I haven't even got the stuff. I just started rolling a cigarette, so back in a few. Right, I have a special treat for you. I am actually going to draw the diagram on video. Before I do that, I'm going to show a quick demonstration of how to clean these tracks. Like I said, use sandpaper. All you do, rip a piece off, fold it in half and then fold it in half again, and just rub it across the rails. And it does actually get every single bit of grime off. Now you've seen how to actually do that. I'm going to pause and clean both of these tracks and you'll see why. Right, I've cleaned the tracks, but this is not the special trait that you're going to see. But has something to do with what I showed in my very first video, which was tips for model constructing. What we're going to do, we're going to put these tracks in here. This is just to test the height of this. Thought it'd be fun to do on camera. But you're going to actually see how I configure my electronics together. Because, like I said, this is actually going to be electrified. Before I actually build the conveyor belt, I'm going to build the motor so I can configure how the conveyor belt's going to go. That fits underneath there perfect. and it fits underneath there perfect. That's all I wanted to check with that. Right, I need to pause the video because I need to go and get some other stuff. Oh, and just to let you know, I'm putting this to one side for a minute because we're not going to be needing this. So we are going to figure out how to configure the motor. Right, so how we're going to configure the electronics is with one of these, the transformer, this box again, and this. Well, we're not just going to use that. Give me 2 minutes. I'm pausing the video again just to set this up. Obviously I showed how this connects to the bridge. Hope I've got it the right way now. But this is how I'm going to configure to see if I can get the motor to run through all this. As I says that there are USB ports. I didn't show it properly on the first video, which was tips for model constructing. Right, that's plugged in. Is it on? Yes. So we can see that that's working. Alright, so as I said, that this actually leads up to one another. Whereas now, obviously I only lit that bridge up. I'm going to try and bring this onto the camera to show this. I did say that there was a USB on this end. Now I'm going to plug this USB into this. Oh, wrong way. Oh. There we have it. So you can see that that's actually plugged in. Now, I'm not expecting these lights to work straight away because they're a bit loose in places, as you can see from this one. This one just doesn't want to work at the moment. Hold on a minute, let me move it off. So I have noticed that this one has actually been damaged. So that it's possible that there could be broken wires inside this now. Yeah, this one just doesn't want to work. Can't actually figure that out why.
Right. You get a paper and stuff.
Right, thanks. Where's... Oh yeah, them over here. I'll just try and push these light bulbs in a bit further. See if that'll do the trick. These light bulbs could be blowing because they are actually black. But we'll soon find out. Yes, I believe that them bulbs are blowing. But that's no matter. But we are going to see this now function. So give me a minute to get a USB. Alright, this is what I call my bag of wires. There are all sorts of wires inside there. I'm not going to tip it up any more than that. But as you can see, there's a broken bit there. I've actually found a broken USB with all 3 wires. Now what I'm going to do is actually turn all these lights off. I'm going to plug this into this. Yeah, I forgot to still record. I'll plug this into this. Now this should work off the positive and negative. We are going to check that first. So what we are going to do, because I haven't got my bulbs. Oh yes, I have actually. Sorry, I do have my bulbs with me. So give me a minute. I think I've got my bulbs with me. Yes, I do. So I can actually see if it is the bulbs on that that's blowing. I'm not going to test that just yet. We are just going to find out if I'm going to cut the right wires on this or not. Recording. So we are going to turn these lights back on. And this should light up this bulb. Yes. As it says that they do work, that these USBs do work through there. And the USBs that I've actually used on that I haven't just bought an external USB port. I've pulled these out of TVs and electrical compartments and I've braced the wires in myself. Unfortunately, because of doing that, I was right that it's these two wires that work, because these two will not, because I've only got these USBs wired up to 2-pin only. Because by rights they are supposed to be 4-pin, as you can see. There are 4 wires on that. If we can get it on the camera. Yeah, can you see that there's 4 wires? But what we are going to do, because these are dead wires, the green and the white one is getting chopped off. So now there's only 2 wires. And now, instead of wiring up a light bulb, so I'll put the light bulbs back, we are going to wire up, when I find them, just give me a minute, I'm pausing the video. Right, I found what I was looking for. We are going to wire up one of these. And obviously it's going to be the same again, it's going to have an external USB on it. I'm using this USB just for configurations of how this is actually going to go. So what I'm going to do is twist the wire on there. I just want to see how fast this actually spins. Now I do have actual compartments where it will actually clip these, but I can't bother to find them out at the moment. Oh, that didn't quite attach, but that's all I'm doing is twisting the wires together. And we're going to see how fast this motor spins with this mechanism. Doesn't matter which way around this goes, because motors work off either direction of positive and negative. This is just a quick experiment if the wires will fucking stay together. Excuse my language, but it's starting to get really annoying. Looks like it's telling me to go and get one of them clip things. You know what, I'm going to try this. I'm going to put the red to red and black to black. Which it doesn't matter which way around this goes. Let's hope that will hold. Seems to be holding. Yeah, that one's holding. Now the one thing you don't want these wires to do is touch one another. I'm going to go ahead and switch this on. Right, so that's not spinning that fast. I want to check now how fast that's actually roughly spinning. So what I'm going to do is use not that piece of cardboard, I use that for roach card. I'm going to use this piece of cardboard just to see how fast this motor is actually spinning. And obviously this will show on the camera that this motor is spinning. Just put a hole through it. Doesn't need gluing on or nothing like that. Just needs a small hole. I could do with my smaller scissors or my pencil. And the other, I found my pencil with that. Ow! Just stabbed myself with a pencil, but no biggie. We're just gonna push that onto there just so it holds on, like so. And we're gonna see roughly how fast that's spinning. It's decided not to work. Not sure why. Why has that stopped working? I hope I haven't broken a wire on that. That was working, now it's decided to stop. It's highly possible that I could have broken a wire, or that one of the wires hasn't clipped properly. Or the USB could have a broken wire. Oh no, there we go. We have it spinning. Yes, it will dim the lights. So I'm going to turn that off and put the cardboard back on it, just to get a rough idea of how fast that's actually spinning. There we go. It's decided to stop spinning again. Maybe I cannot hook the motor this way. Oh no, there we go. No, it's not actually spinning that cardboard. Maybe the cardboard's too heavy for it. Let's try something a little lighter. But you can see that that is actually spinning. Maybe I need to put a what you call it on there. Some resistor or something to slow down the speed. Right, this is a dead roach card, so I'm going to put this on there. Using that same scenario with the pencil. And I'm going to do it into this piece of cardboard so I don't stab my fingers again. No, it didn't. I've just broken the end of the pencil, that's all. Now it's gone through. So we're going to put that on there. Won't tear through for some reason. I'm going to push the pencil through a little bit further. Just until it gets on there. So it will spin it as fast as the motor is spinning. But if this is going to dim the lights, then there is another alternative to this. I'll be able to test another theory of adding another one of those electric boxes to give it a generator look. The electric box meaning what the bridges are connected to, which is just an old train controller. If I can build that one, I can build another one. This just want to tell me how fast it's spinning. I can't put this onto there. It's usually the way it's stuff when I'm trying to actually do something. Yeah, there we go, we've got it on. Now you watch it, but it doesn't spin again. How did I know that? Okay, that's probably going quite quickly because I can't tell if that's actually spinning or not. That was spinning. That is spinning fast. That's not spinning then, it's just rocking side to side. It's spinning that fast that it won't spin. What's it called? But it does look like it's spinning. So I'm not understanding that. Let's try that again. If I can touch the side a bit while it's spinning without it hitting my finger, then that's not actually spinning. I can't see which way it would be spinning. If I can feel with my finger which way it's actually spinning. No, the motor's spinning too fast for this. So we're going to need something else to actually put on there where it will spin it. What do we have that will spin on there? You know what? Let's try a bit of paper, because that's nice and light. This will give me a rough idea of how fast it's spinning. And it's easier to put on and easier to poke a hole through. Okay, the hole is through. There we go, the paper's on. Well, that actually powered up straight away that time. Oh, at least let me know which way it's actually spinning. I don't think that's at its full speed. I'm going to try and lift the paper up a little bit. So it's not catching. No, this just doesn't want to do what I need it to do. I'm going to fold it on there. Nope, it's just not doing what I want it to do. So, anyone got any bright ideas of how to get this to spin something? Pausing the video and I'll come back to you. Oh, that didn't pause properly. Right, I have actually come up with my own little bright idea. I've doubled up the paper. Then I'm just going to make sure that that's gone right the way through. So I'm going to stop it. And I'm going to put that. Oh, no, I'm putting this right the way through then by the looks on it. Yeah, because that's quite thickish on it. So this should. Yeah, that's going on a bit tightly. Because there's more layers and I can spread them out. That might just have to fold around with the motor. Let's try it. No, there is no way to check the speed on this motor at all. It just doesn't want to show how fast it's actually going. I'm going to try a bit of tin foil since I've had a lot of this stuff. Now this stuff, when it actually folds, gets a hole through it, it actually folds around stuff. No, that's far too loose. So we're going to try it another way. I'm probably going to be at this up until the end of the video. By the looks on it. The story of my life, I get so far with something and then something has to get in the way to mess it up. Not sure if that's going to work, but we'll have a look. No. The only way I want to do this is if I glue something on. I'm going to try and twist it to see if it will make a stronger hold. No, it's just tore through it. Let's just see what it does. Doesn't even spin. So, if anyone's got any bright ideas on how to make this motor show how fast it's actually spinning, I could really use that help right now. I've got one last trick up my sleeve. I'll have to pause the video for this one. Right, so I've just pulled out a small piece of wire and I'm going to try and wrap that round on there quite a few times and tightly. See if this will spin the motor. What I could really use is one of the weights that was on this motor. That would show how fast it was spinning. Let's see what that does. Yeah, it just doesn't want to spin anything. So how the hell do I manage to get these to show how fast I'm going? I have no idea. I've got one last trick, which is cotton. Oh, I might have something a little better. A broken coupling. Will it fit over? No. Will it fit on that way? Oh, that's in. That might just work. No, doesn't want to spin that either. Let's try from that bit if I can get that to sink in. No. Hold on, that's on much tighter. What it was just. It's not spinning it all the way around. It's just broke it. No, this motor just doesn't want to spin anything, so I'm pausing the video until I find something that'll spin this motor. Sorry, spin with the motor. Right, I've actually found something that'll definitely work. Off my wire water belt, managed to just get a bit of duct tape. So I'm going to wrap that round it. Obviously the duct tape will stick. So now we can actually see how fast that is spinning. I don't get it. That motor is obviously not spinning. So that's on tight. Yeah. That motor for some reason is only going backwards and forwards. That's the only thing I can say about that. I'll find out if it winds up around my hand. That doesn't know which way to spin itself. That's why we're only seeing it wobble. Let's try another motor, shall we? Let me pause the video while I hook on the motor. Right, I'm trying another motor. I have actually got the red wire to the black wire and the black wire to the red wire. Let's see. Right, it's spinning. And it's not actually spinning. It's just wobbling back and forth, I think. Can't tell. Let's have a look when I stick the duct tape on it. Now it's actually trying to fold the duct tape round. I'll turn it off and secure that on there. Let's try it now. No, that's just not sticking to it properly. That one is actually spinning in the right direction. Try putting it perfectly flat. Woo! The wire's nearly touched. Don't want that to happen. These might actually be stepper motors. So I'm going to pause the video and see if I can actually get a proper spin on this. We're going to try something new. We are actually going to plug this in straight into the USB instead of all this. Let's see what happens then. Right, so here we are, USB plug. I've got a extension lead right here. So I'm going to plug that into the extension lead. If you can see that, there we go. And we're going to remove this from here. We're going to see how that reacts now. Oh, don't let them wires touch one another. Matter of fact, now I've got it like that. No. Put it around that, because that's foamed on the outside, so it won't attach to nothing. Doesn't cause it to black out, except for when it does that. So, yeah, this is just gonna carry on being awkward. Let's try it like that. No, it's just gonna be awkward. Unless if I twist it like that. Ah, there we go, now we have it spinning. So for some reason, it being through that was causing it to go back and forth. Can't be a positive and negative thing, so I'm not 100% sure what was going on there. Probably because it was draining power from the lights. So this is going to have to work on a separate circuit. So now I have a rough idea of how fast that's spinning. We can now move on to the diagram. So I'm going to move this from here. Move this from here. So obviously these USB ports can now only be used in configuration of lights. Oh, I nearly broke that. So you can see that I'm actually detaching all this properly, which is awesome. We'll find out in a bit if it's the lights on there that's gone, or if it's a broken connection. As a matter of fact, shall we have a look at that now? I'm going to just plug that straight into USB. Only one of those lights are working on there, two of them. This is why it's bad to use it straight from the USB. Look how dull that light bulb is. I believe that these ones are blowing. We'll find out in a minute. I'm going to actually show you how now these light bulbs are changed. So I never really showed it properly. Obviously moving the bridge about and that and trying to do it while it's attached to the bridge is going to be awkward. That's why I built these lampposts to this. I just actually removed that lamppost. Right, the bulbs on this are actually black. So to get them out, I'm going to need another cocktail stick, because I'm losing all my cocktail sticks. I don't know if that was just caught on camera, but I'll just remove that light bulb. I'm going to straighten this one out, and we're going to see if this will now light up. Just want to straighten the wires as much as possible, because for where they've got to go, it's actually not that easy to put in. Right, it's that bulb that I've took out. Right, don't know if you can see this, but there is two slots where the light bulb just slots in. It's sort of gone in. It's not proper going in. So, oh god, ignore that. I'll get that back in a minute. Because of these wires being so twisted, because I got these out of Christmas lights, as I mentioned on my first video. Obviously, I will mention the names for it, which was tips for model constructing. This was one of the tips of using these type of light bulbs, just so that you can change them very easily. There we go, it's gone in. Don't know if you caught that on the camera. I'll find out when I rewatch it. But it just doesn't want to go right the way. Well, because it looks like that someone's trampled this lamppost. That's what makes me think that it could be broken wires as well. But from that bulb, I can see all black all over that. So it could be a blown bulb. So let's try again. I'm getting that to go into there. It doesn't want to go in. So what we're going to do is try another bulb. And this thing better fucking stop pissing around before I end up breaking it. The wires on this one are a bit more straighter. But we could still have problems with putting the bulb in. Unfortunately, my stuff is not actually safe yet. It does actually keep getting knocked about and stuff like that, as you can tell from the lamppost. And you saw in my first video, tips for model constructing, it wasn't this badly damaged. But I did have to rebuild this lamppost because it got broke before. I'm just hoping I don't have to do it again. Right, if that was on video, we have a light bulb that has now actually gone in. I'm going to push it right the way down. And now this will tell me if it is the bulbs that's blown or there's something wrong with the lamppost. No, wrong one. That. Right, guess what? It is the bulbs that's blowing because that has just lit up. So, time to change this bulb because this one's black as well. These are the bulbs that I use in Christmas lights, and they are actual light bulbs. That's going to struggle to get in there. I believe I'm actually showing how these light bulbs are changed. All because the light bulbs have been blown. Well, I will be stopping this video soon and we'll continue again tomorrow because it's gone over 2 hours. Once I get a light bulb, that'll go into this. This one might just straighten out. Yes, it's straightened out good enough. Once again, on the camera, there's the light bulb. It's not in. You can see that there's no light bulb in there. I'll just close it in and get it into those holes that I've made in tin foil. That distorts the electricity to the bulb. Diverses, sorry, not distorts. Imagine having a distorted light bulb. That'd be a sight. So you just wait until you get it inside those holes. It's easier to see when I'm not doing it on camera. There will be future lampposts that I'll be building, and because now I can actually get videos up on YouTube, I will actually show you how to build a simple lamppost. I'm not sure if I'll do any more that's like this, because this is a double lamppost. I may be able to show sort of one. Right, so you can see that the light bulb is there and it's completely out. So I just did have it go through. wasn't ready to actually go in. So you can actually see this go through. Like I said, I can do it better when it's off the camera for some reason. Just doesn't want to be shown on camera. Sorry folks, I'm going to have to just deal with what I'm saying. Oh, doesn't want to go in at all, man. Now it keeps going to the side. This is wasting precious video time. Yeah, can't get it in at all, man. Try back on the camera, see if it will do it this time. No, it's got it. But it's got stuck. Oh, if I give it a wiggle, it will hopefully go through. No. It's bending up the one leg. So let's try again. I'm going to try a different bulb. I'm going to pause the camera till I find a bulb that'll fit. Right, I found one that's not pissing around. So, obviously, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there's my light bulb. As soon as it gets through them holes, it'll go in. Doesn't hit them properly just yet, so I can't push down on it. So you can see that I'm actually fighting. As soon as I kick it off on the camera, as soon as I put it on the camera, it doesn't want to fit. Ah, there we go. And that's all there is to it. So let's see if that one's going to play up, or it is actually just the bulbs that had blown. So that can go back on there. I know it's not going to be very bright, but go on there. That one's still not working. That one stopped working. Yeah, this just doesn't want to work anymore. Right, I've got that one working. That one was working, but it doesn't anymore. That one's not working. So I have no idea what's actually going on. I have a theory that it could have been the bulbs that was blown. There seems to be something else. Oh, that one's come back on. Maybe because I haven't got it strong enough. We are going to plug the bridge back up and see if it will work properly then. Luckily enough, I haven't took the wiring down or nothing. All it is just finding the end of the wire, which is not letting me do that. Yep, there we go. I finally got the end of the wire. So, plugging that onto there. I'm going to turn that so you can see all this. So, only the bridge that bridge is hooked up. This one isn't yet. That's not hooked up yet. Here's the USB. I'll try and plugging it into this bridge. There we go. And now we are going to switch it on. Because of a broken wire, but that bulb is still not working. I don't know why. Like I said, I think this has been trampled on and a wire is broke inside, which means that I've got to take all this apart again, which means completely breaking it. It's the only way that you can get inside one of these, and trying to fix the wire that way. Unless if that has actually gone to the side and is not making any contact with the metal, which that actually looks like what it's done. So we are going to try and go for around 2 on this. I believe that that's actually in the holes. It's just struggling to go through it. Oh, it's gone in. If this doesn't work on this side, that means I'm going to have to rebuild this lamppost, and you'll get to see how one of these is built. But I won't be doing it until I've finished this one project. Yeah, it's definitely a broken wire. I know that because this one keeps messing up. So when I turn it that way, it works. When I put it right, oh, it's actually stayed on this time. So yeah, I have no choice but to rebuild this lamppost. This is what happens to my stuff all the time, just keeps getting damaged. I don't even know why I actually bother building all this. But this is what's going to happen with this anyway. It's the only way that you can actually undo this. I'm going to keep that bit, so it's still usable. And I'm going to try and keep that bit and hope it's still usable. You can check that with a USB. You'll find out now I was right about it being a broken wire. Hopefully there's no broken wires inside where the bulb is. Trying to get it to touch the wires, it's not doing it. That bulb is not working, so that means that the broken wire is actually inside this. Let me check this bulb. Should have done that before I ripped it all apart, but I know for a fact that this is a working bulb, and we're about to find out, because I'm about to put it out now. Let's find out if this is a working bulb or not, and if I did make the right choice of actually ripping that apart. Yeah, I've seen that light up slightly then. Let me just get this on the camera. Now let me try them bulbs that look blown. Oh, what a surprise, the bulbs wasn't blown. So I did the right thing, I have to rebuild that lamppost. I'll leave that to another time. Happy constructing and thanks for watching. I'll press pause instead of stop, I'm pressing stop now.